So let's get started. It's my pleasure to introduce Congressman Allen West. Welcome, Congressman.
Thanks for having me, Frank. Absolutely. Yeah.
The first thing that I want to do is I want to understand what the American dream means to you. It's a special day today, and you've served this country well.
Well, I tell you, when I think about the American dream, I just had the opportunity to go back to my home neighborhood in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was born in the inner city, and actually just right down the street from where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born and raised. And for me, the American dream means that no matter where you come from or no matter where you are born, there is a quality of opportunity here in this country based upon your own drive and determination, your own individual industrialism, that you can achieve whatever heights that you want in this great nation. You know, my father was born in 1920 down in South Alabama, my mother in 1931 down in South Georgia. And who would have ever thought when I was born in 1961 that they would have a son that would be a retired lieutenant colonel from the United States Army, that commanded a battalion in combat, and is now the first black Republican member from the state of Florida since Reconstruction. And that's the American dream, and that's what we fight for.
So, well, clearly the American dream worked out for you, but it hasn't worked out for everyone. Well, everyone can't say that they've accomplished what you've accomplished, and people tried pretty darn hard.
Yeah,
what about them?
But see, the thing is, I think that each and every one of us can achieve whatever greatness that we want. You know, I grew up in the inner city. It would have been nice if I was 6'2", 6'3", and I could go and shoot three-pointers and dunk. But no, I didn't. So I had a different path. You know, my father served in World War II. My older brother served in Vietnam. So the path for me was to go into the military. And they convinced me as a young man in the 10th grade to join high school ROTC. So that's what I'm saying. You know, will everyone be a millionaire? No, maybe not. But there is a richness that you can have in your life. Because as I see where I have come from, where I am today, it's not about material wealth. It's about something that is totally different. It's about an intrinsic wealth that I live in the greatest nation that the world has ever known. Because my story and the story of many of you out there could not happen anywhere else but right here in the United States of America. And that's what people have always wanted to come here to be a part of. A part of saying, you know, when I put my feet on these shores, no one is going to hold me back from what I want to achieve. Now, this is the problem that we have. If we continue down the path of a government, and this is the philosophical difference that we have in America.
And keep reacting.
The philosophical difference is that there are some people that want to say that it's not about equality of opportunity, it's about equality of achievement. Two very different things. That says that, you know, we are going to say how far you can go and what we will provide for you. And see, that's the difference between economic freedom and economic dependency. Because when I went back to my old neighborhood this past weekend, I saw the shell of my neighborhood. I saw families that had been destroyed. I saw dependency. I saw victimization that was totally different from when I grew up back in the 70s in that neighborhood. And so that's the seminal question that we have to ask ourselves as we go forward. Are we going to have a government? Are we going to have people that understand what the American dream is? Are we going to have people that reflect our principles and values, that make sure that everyone can, whatever parameters they want, can live that American dream?
Who's a first-time voter here? Are there any first-time voters? First presidential race. Okay, you're the youngest. You get the first question.
You know, I like your story. I think it's it's a true American story. But I think one of the things that has really ruined our politics is rhetoric. And I think for a congressman to make the accusation that there are 70 communists in the House of Representatives is an absurd statement, and it doesn't reflect what the story that you just told.
Oh yeah, but it does reflect the story I just told, because it reflects a person that has studied political theory and ideology. I have a bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees in political science, political theory, political ideology. And the thing is, you have to be able to understand the two competing principles and philosophies of governance in this country. You know, when I go out and talk to people, what is America? And when people respond, America is a democracy, that lets me know they don't understand what America is. America is a constitutional republic. And when you go back and you read the documents of the Declaration of Independence, the full declaration, the full Constitution, you understand limited government. You understand fiscal responsibility. You understand individual sovereignty, free market, traditional cultural values, strong national defense. But there are people on the other side, and you can call it whatever you wish. You can call it communism, progressivism, socialism, Marxism, or statism. They more so believe in a government control. They more so believe in nationalizing of production. They believe in creating and expanding an entitlement or a welfare state. And you can't tell me that you aren't seeing that in the United States of America right now.
Go ahead.
First of all, wow, because I think this proves how biased the liberal media is, because you come off so intelligent and so smart right now, and a lot of like left-leaning media portrays you as some kind of like crazy guy. So, wow, 110% agree with you, Sid.
But this is the point. There are some people in this country that are afraid of my story. There are some people in this country that don't want to, let people know that you can have a young black male from the inner city that's a conservative, a career military veteran, that had a family. I'm third or fourth generation of military veterans. That scares some people. And I understand that. And that's why I don't pay attention to it. I just have to continue to tell the truth.
Jackie, does he scare you?
No, not at all. I want to know how you take your story and your determination and your drive that you talk about and reinstill it into the kids that are coming up today, because they don't have it.
Well, and I want to add one thing to that, because you're a man of service.
Yeah.
It's not just about drive, it's also about serving your country and serving others.
It's about service, sacrifice, and commitment. And I think once upon a time, when you looked at this country, coming out of World War II in Korea, 75 to 80% of the people that were up here on Capitol Hill had done what? Had served in the military. They raised their right hand. They took an oath to that document, which is the embodiment of the American people, and they were willing to lay their lives down for it. And I think you had a different sense of honor, integrity, and character up here in Washington, D.C. Now, when I first retired from the military back in 2004 after 22 years, I taught high school for a year. And that was such an enjoyable experience that I volunteered to go back to Afghanistan. But the thing is this, you're right. There's a program out there called Troops to Teachers. And I think it's important to get men and women that have been out on the front lines and truly understand the essence of what America is, and has these varying different great stories that they can tell. Because so often our kids need to understand not just reading, writing, arithmetic. They need to understand courage, competence, commitment, conviction, and character. There's a lot of intrinsic messages that we can teach.
I want to do both you guys in the back row together.
So I agree with what you've said so far, and in fact, frankly, I am proof of what you just said. I was born in Romania, came here penniless, and I'm now in the 1%, and very proud of it.
Yeah.
The 1% is a very fluid 1%. So
you're absolutely right. I hear people talk about class, middle class, low class. America is not about class or caste. America is about income levels. But the thing is that you can transit those levels based upon your own drive and determination. Think about the guy, that cardboard plastic thing that you put on your windshield to shield off the sun. He just came up with a simple idea: entrepreneurship, individual industrialism, and it became something that people picked up.
Does he represent the American dream?
Yes.
Does he represent America?
Yes.
How many of you in this room would vote for him?
Yeah.
And there are a lot of Obama people in here. Congressman West,
thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
And when we come back, Chairman Darrell Issa is